let's get into the Reno Renewable Diesel Plant. All right, this is what James wants to buy. And this is what we're scheduled to buy when it's done. And it's going to cost quite a bit. It's going to cost about 500 million. And obviously, as you know, we don't got it currently. So how are we going to pay for it? It's going to be via cash. It's going to be via equity as well. But what are the benefits of the renewable diesel? Because at first I was thinking that it was biodiesel, which is completely different than renewable diesel. And I'm more optimistic that James has a solidified vision that's going to pan out longer in the future. I like where his mind is. And so the new Rise Renewable Diesel Plant in Reno, Nevada produces 43 million gallons per year. You can get that straight from the PR and the SEC filing. Now, California is the only state to really use renewable diesel right now because of their initiatives with going green. So right now in California, it's $5.01 per gallon as of July 2023. So about $5 per gallon for renewable diesel. So you do that 43 million times 501. That's $215 million in revenue. So by that standards, if we're paying 500 million to get this plant, it would take about 3 years to completely pay off the plant. Obviously, we have other debt here, other debt there, operating costs. So it might be a little bit more than 3 years, but bringing in over $200 million in revenue off one branch of business, that's big. All right. And think about it. You're getting half of your revenue what you're paying for it. Think about that. You're paying 500 million, and immediately once operable, you're going to get 200 million in revenue easily because there's not as much production of renewable diesel. Consumption is going up, and there's not enough people producing it right now. So the demand, it's always going to be there. They're going to trap out this diesel. All right. And so we'll be able to pay this off in like 3 years, depending on how our other debt based situation is. And so this is straight from the SEC filing. The purchase price for the acquired interest is anticipated to be 750 million less the amount of the outstanding liabilities indebtedness of the acquired companies, which liabilities and indebtedness are estimated to be approximately 251 million, but subject to final determination and adjustment pursuant to the purchase price agreement mechanisms set forth in MIPA. So it's about 500 million because it's less than amount 250. When compared to biodiesel, renewable diesel is a higher quality end product that provides greater power and efficiency, produces fewer harmful emissions, and can be created, stored, and used by existing infrastructure. That's important because nobody has to switch anything. The renewable diesel can go through the natural gas lines. It can go through all those lines without chemically changing anything. It's a lower barrier to entry, and it doesn't cost much to switch over to it. You could use the regular diesel engines you have now. All right. Renewable diesel can be implemented right away with minimal or no changes to current refineries or vehicles, all of which is good news for our burgeoning circular economy. So this is why James is smart. Once you get the infrastructure built up, nothing else, there's like not many other challenges outside of people, industries buying it from you. You don't like, an EV car, when it's not just, building one EV. It's about getting the correct battery. Is the battery going to blow up on you? Yada, yada, yada. This is easy. It's plug and play. But it's plug and play where there's money to be made. The NREL study found renewable diesel reduced both carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxide emissions when compared with petroleum diesel. California's low carbon fuel standard certified carbon intensities show renewable diesel reduces carbon intensity on average by 65% when compared with petroleum diesel. Now that's James's vision, what people don't realize. This is all ESG, this is all lowering carbon, this is all environmentally friendly. All right. And he's sticking by his plan, but it's still industrially sticking by his plan. It goes with Sim and Maxwell. It goes with the oil and stuff. It goes with everything. So it's actually a nice mix of branches of business we actually have. Biodiesel used in automobiles, trucks, and other non-road engines emits more pollution into the environment than renewable diesel-powered engines. Plus, biodiesel has shown to produce higher levels of nitrogen oxide, which can cause smog and acid rain. So it's way better than biodiesel. Renewable diesel seems to be the future if this is the case. It's an easy transition over. I'm also an investor in Hyliion, which they just stopped their electric powertrain industry for trucking, which was going to be using diesel, other fuels, and stuff like that. And they're already saying they already see the writing on the wall with the electric industry. So all that electric power coming from other places, it's not nothing's changing that fast. And there's going to be a lot of things being reverted, but the government's still going to spend money on right operations to get as green as possible going into the future. Renewable diesel, on the other hand, does not contain any oxygen, meaning users do not have to worry about the storage, the temperature issues associated with biodiesel. Even more important is that due to hydrogenation, renewable diesel burns cleaner than biodiesel and fossil fuel diesel. Renewable diesel can be substituted with fossil diesel in existing vehicles because it's chemically identical to fossil diesel. This means that renewable diesel can operate efficiently in any vehicle that uses diesel fuel. Low cost to entry. Very, very important. So some gematria, renewable diesel green movement equals 133 reduction, a very important investment number. Renewable diesel demand will grow 137 reduction, the 33rd prime. So these are the investment numbers we like to see. Renewable diesel is compatible with most midstream energy company infrastructure, 333 English reduction. That's important, and that's why the next slide is going to be critical when I get into the midstream energy companies after the dividends, because renewable diesel is going to be able to go through Texas and all those energy transportation suppliers easily to get to their location. They won't be able to do that with biofuel. You would have to get transportation here and there, and it's more expensive. So I actually like what James is doing with this. And it's not that expensive when you think about what can happen long-term with this. Renewable diesel is better than diesel, and renewable diesel for green movement, they both equal 334 in English ordinal, which is 1 digit away from 333 using the Colel rule. Very powerful. Renewable diesel uses nat gas pipes, 330 English ordinal. So that's my spiel, and I've talked about it a lot on Twitter. The Reno renewable diesel plant is actually a good thing for Camber Energy. And what people don't realize is we only need 20% of the payment down up front whenever it's finished. And so we need 100 million. So I'm sure some of it's going to come from an offering, some of it's going to come from cash. And what people don't realize is the contract with New Rise, it could have been voided by either party back in May. And everybody's still on board with it. All right. So think about that. Since May, we've been in an at-will adjustment period where either party could get out the contract because New Rise was not operational by May. That was the contract. They're not operational. So they either could have got out of it or James could have got out of it, but they're still both on board. So that's kind of bullish to me. James has said in the interview I did with him, he likes what they're doing. It's a first-class facility. So I'm going to go with him. He has done a lot of good things thus far. So I'm going to go with him to see what happens. So that's the renewable diesel plant in Reno. There's going to be more to come with that, hopefully, in the future.